building, if I stand corrected. But they're going to open this huge marina.
But didn't we hear from our Prime Minister that we're building a marina too?
Well, didn't we do a groundbreaking ceremony on that?
Couple months back.
Couple months back, and how much dirt has actually moved off that site?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen a truck over there. I mean, I've seen lots of trucks, but nothing over there as yet.
So, are you saying that we won't get it?
I'm not saying that we won't get it, Matt. I'm saying that again, we have to look.
You're not too optimistic.
I'm not optimistic. I'm looking at the way that things have gone in the last few years. We've had a lot of promises from our government. We've had so many promises, and Matt, if you have to count on how many promises have been delivered, you can probably count them on one finger. And I think a lot of the things that even the government takes credit for, it's probably not the government doing it. It's very weird. Like for instance, I'm going to just point out a project to you, the tram. I don't think the government has anything to do with the tram. I think people have wanted to put a tram in Dominica for so long, Matt. And I don't know if you've heard talk about this before, but they've been talk about putting a tram. Even before St. Lucia got their tram, there was talk about putting a tram in Dominica. And the same people left Dominica and they moved on to St. Lucia to do some development instead.
That happens.
So it happens every now and then. And my thing is, how long can we stand aside and miss opportunities? Miss opportunities for growth, miss opportunities for revenue. And one of the biggest things that I see, and we have a lot of diaspora here, Matt, right now, and one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that we have a lot of people out there, and I know the phones are going to ring when I say this. We have a lot of people out there that are Dominicans that would love to return to Dominica to do something in Dominica, a business or a development in Dominica. Matt, and those people have systematically been turned away because yes, of I would call it special interest, because that's the only reason why you turn away somebody who comes to you and says, Matt, here's the thing. I want to spend X amount of money. I think this will bring so many jobs. And then these people have been turned away.
But what do you think as an investor yourself? And I've heard that comment. Why do investors stay away?
I think investors stay away because there's very little transparency and very little stability. Transparency. If you are trying, I mean, I've experienced it as a local myself, and you've probably experienced it. If you've ever had a problem, Matt, and walk up to the ministry or the financial center to solve that problem, there's very few people who know the answers on how to solve it. I think there's no clarity. You don't know who's responsible. There's very few people who want to make decisions. There's very little clarity. There's very little clarity to help solve that problem that you're having. So people generally don't like that. They want things to work. You're investing a lot of money. You want to make sure that there's total clarity. There is no ambiguity. There's no loopholes.
So you're saying basically there's a lot of red tape.
There's a lot of red tape, and there's a lot of handshaking that you have to do. You have to grease palms. You're walking around, and sometimes to get what you want, it's very weird how business is done.
Well, I'd like you to explain, Andy, because a lot of people don't understand the term greasing palms.
Well, the grease the palm.
I just wanted to be clear about that.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I think in order for you to get where you're going, you have to talk to a lot of people. You have to be nice to a lot of people. You have
to pass something on.
You may have to do that, but it takes a lot to get where you want to go, because it's not very clear. It's not cut and dry for everybody. If you go in and you ask for the same thing I asked for, there may be a different outcome. And it has nothing to do.
Preferential treatment.
Yeah, it's preferential treatment at some level.
And what your surname may be and mine.
It could be your name. It could be your color of your skin. It could be the beautiful eyes that you have. It could be the dress or the clothes that you're wearing. But there's a lot of preferential treatment.
Yeah, because I keep asking myself, why are these investors not coming to Dominica?
Because they want a level playing field. I mean, it's the same thing with electoral reform, right? We're not going to get electoral reform because why? Nobody wants a level playing field. Everybody wants to play the game how they want to play the game. And that's how simple it is. There's certain things we just won't get. We're not.
You're saying that
fair.
With confidence that you don't think people will get.
I would. You want me to put another $25,000 on this? I could do it today. I would probably put another $10,000 US on this one too.
No electoral reform.
Cruise ship terminal, another $25,000. Yes, I'll put the money down.
All right. Let's take a few phone calls. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
And to Mr. Jolly. Matt, things are just not clearly defined. And it is, how do I say it? How can you run a government with things that are not clearly defined? And people who are completely incompetent? How can you be in a job to define something to an applicant and it is not clearly defined? The fact that you will tell each applicant a different process to follow. It's totally insane. I don't believe Dominica is the only one who has that problem. Maybe we have it worse than others, but it's a problem that I've seen in several different government departments. They just cannot define that thing carefully so that you can go now and follow it. As you go along, it changes. And that is the frustration level that builds. You just want to forget the whole process, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
So Matt, that is one of the problems that we definitely have. But the other, I think there's also a macro level from what I see, and this is just my own opinion. I'm going to give it to you because I see things and I know things and I understand. I sit down in meetings in rooms all day long, but I think there's almost this tendency of if there's something that comes to Dominica or comes to Dominica to be done, the government almost does it only if they have an interest in it or if they have some sort of angle or liking to it. It is not done with the good of the people in mind, if that makes sense. So therefore, if, for instance, let's say we need a new water tank because guess what? We're getting bad water up the road and we need a new water tank to install. If that project came across the desk and they didn't feel that there was an interest in doing that project, even though the fact that the people need the new water tank, we would never get that water tank. There's only this interest, and it has been shown again and again and again. There's only self-interest. If there is not somebody in there who has some self-interest in whatever project is going on, whether it be for them to look good for their participants or their constituents, then that project does not get done, whether it's good for Dominica or not.
It has to be about them.
Well, it doesn't have to be about them, but it has to make them shine.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Mike, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Belly, one of my favorite person on radio.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it's a pity I have to leave this afternoon. I have an appointment. But we wouldn't get investors because they know they are hearing that we have a lazy government. All this government is doing is prepare for the next election and then prepare for the next election. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody's saying here, the cabinet.
Well, the cabinet doesn't meet enough.
It's too big.
Well, our government is too big. Matt, the government is the largest employer in Dominica. Just think about this, Matt. When Clare Harbor makes an announcement that they might lay off people, right?
600 to 800 people.
Yeah, they might. Think about if the government had to make that same announcement. Just for 5 minutes. The government is the largest employer in this country. If the government had to lay off, call it 10%, 15%, 50% of their workforce, what number would that look like?
Let's
That's a very big number, isn't it?
yeah, it's
That would hurt. So we need to understand that our government really has not set things in place to put small businesses together, to put medium-sized businesses, to develop factories for those people to work. We've not, they've, our government, and this is, I think, part of the problem the truckers had. The government has really not elevated people to be paid equally either. So we are being unequally paid. We are actually being kept down into poverty purposely. I don't want to say it, but literally, the salaries in Dominica are literally being suppressed.
And I heard this morning, I'm still trying to confirm that we are now importing workers from Indonesia. We can pay lower still.
Because why? Because of the suppression. You can suppress people's salary. We can keep this economy as ragged to the close to the bottom as possible. It's not one that goes in and say, hey, let's pay our people more. They need more spending power. Literally, the salaries are literally being, I want to say stifled or suffocated. But literally, I think it's being done purposely and willfully.
But it's been stifled, but the rest of us don't get the increase in salary. We see the minister.
Yeah. Remember,
40%.
Remember, our own prime minister came out and told people save $200. What was it, a month or a week? Was it? I don't remember. Either one of them is a ridiculous. I mean, what does $200 buy? $200 buys you coffee in the morning in Dominica if you are staying at a good hotel, right? So saving $200 a month, I mean, on when you're giving people salaries of $1,200, we're running people into poverty. Things are going up around them, however, their salary is not going up,
and that's unfortunate. Let's take another phone call. There's 142. Talk to me.
Blessings to you, my beloved brother.
Blessings to you.
The Honorable Dr. Jolly. Can I say that, no, man? But this morning I was telling you how bold-faced and brutal these criminals are because they understand what it is to remain in power. And I would want more selfless people in the resistance, people who understand sacrifice, selflessness, and principle, standing on the foundation of courage, because this is your country. What that is being done is a systematic and deliberate impoverishment, and automatically you become disempowered. Doc, do you know if you turn what they call a tortoise, a turtle, a tortoise on its back, it cannot flip itself over, Doc? Do you know that?
I know that very well because it's perfectly right. You have to understand, if you just look at the other Caribbean islands, look at teachers' salary, look at government workers' salaries. Just recently, Grenada gave their teachers 10% increase. You understand? Grenada. So really and truly, we're not being true to form with the other Caribbean islands. I mean, salaries in Antigua significantly higher than Dominica. Salaries in St. Lucia higher than Dominica. And you know what that's doing to us, Matt? It's taking people and just sending them other places because you turn them on their back over here like a tortoise. They can't do very much.
Continue, Blessings.
Yes. So, Doc, I was saying that to illustrate the point where the impoverishment the disempowerment that automatically impoverishes you, you cannot resist. You cannot fight against something that have a chokehold on you. And what they're doing is all roads lead to Rome. In time of when Rome once ruled the world, they had what they call a toll road. So everywhere you pass, you would have to pay a toll to Rome. And that's what that is happening. You're talking about it there. I heard that years ago, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates,
yes,
came to Dominica to set up, I think it's a soft drink factory, a plant or whatever. And the amount of money that was demanded to grease people palm, to pay them under the table, prior or before the investment, they ran away, doc. They ran away. And that is what is happening. The truckers, the teachers, and you just made mention about the teachers. And you're hearing about even the citizenship by investment, where Martin St. Kitts, where they're giving the people some stimulus packages, Matt.
Yes, St. Kitts.
You know, in the same citizenship by investment, Maria hit us. We get money to deliver people from all the wars they went through. I was supposed to get $6,666. 1,700 and something people was met 8 requirements, doc. I paid 1,000 and couple dollars to meet the requirement, and then I was left in the dust, doc, because it seems to have sifted through the pile and determined who get and who did not get, and I lost all my.
So nothing back to your blessings. You never recovered any of that money.
Nothing, Matt. I went on Kyrie, I went on DBS. You know me on Q, Matt.
Yeah.
I tired make noise on Q. Up to now, this criminal sitting there renting his own house, Matt, where we pay him $64,000, Matt. I don't know who I'm talking about, so excuse me. Taking so much, Matt, and giving the people nothing, not even the crumbs that fall off the table. Matt, we have to be fighting for scraps among ourselves. Not even the crumbs that fall off the table, we have the luxury to fight over. And it is deliberate. Jack Dadakan, Anthony Hayden, the Chinese, and that man they call Scarat set up a network, Matt, that is so tightly entangled, if I may say, Matt, that you cannot get through it. The late Alex Boyd Knight says, if you're not read, you're better off dead. Even if you're read, you're still dead in that dragnet, Matt, when you get trapped in it. So I want to just say in closing, Matt, man like Honorable Dr. Andy Jolly and Dr. Dale Dungerben, and I go to say Dr. IP, but I can't say that again. And some kind of real resourceful and intelligent and ambitious people need to be as bold as these lunatics, Matt, that want the whole country to die to save they and their family, but no one man want to die to save the country from these criminals. Have a blessed day. Take care.
King dies, back to country.
My heart is heavy, my soul not free. I feel this every day. Maybe I'm just guilty. Dominica has become this way, where people are standing on political mischief and division. Politicians control citizens, heart and soul, before God, before land, before church, before family.
The sentiments that
Dominica, my true confession is what I didn't do.
we know all of the 20 years, the problems.
Allegiance was to someone else, not you.
But we love our party and not our country, huh?
The patriots of you. So it's no wonder we are where we are. We did not stand with you. Now we are best in poverty. Roots of a misplaced loyalty. Now we must turn back to country, each and everybody, beginning with you.
A song of the times, huh? King dies. Somebody's making the point the cabinet is so big with too many square pegs in wrong holes, so they just keep spinning in mud. Somebody's saying to you this Saturday.
Well, how can we fix it? Because I think we did the reset thing, and the reset made it even bigger, right?
Even worse.
It made it even worse. So, I mean, what I don't understand, Matt, is here it is that we have a so-called leader, and our we have Mr. Scarrett who comes online every now and then, Matt. And you know what? The words that hurt me the most, he talks about good governance, and I'm thinking, sir, have you really looked at the meaning of good governance? Because here it is that you're doing everything that is contradictory to good governance. You've hired too many people to do too few jobs. Then, and somewhere along the line, maybe you realize that you did wrong, or we've made a mistake. You know, Matt, we have not even sat down and said, let's turn this thing around. It's almost like we decided to drive to Scott's Head, but we're passing Massac and we're going now from Roseau. And then we're passing Tara, and I'm like, Matt, didn't we say we're going to Scott's Head? And you're like, yeah, man, we're going to Scott's Head. You're like, Matt, no, turn the car around. We're going the wrong way. Let's go backwards, because we need to turn it around and fix the errors. But he comes online and talks about good governance and people not knowing about good governance. And I'm thinking, who are these people who do not know about good governance?
And then we have D, we have C, we have B, we have A. What would you grade Mr. Scarrett for 2024?
So we're giving him ratings and grades on what? On
his performance.
On his performance. What part of the performance we want to join? I mean, there's a couple different things that we could possibly look at if we want to go ahead and grade things. So most people would say quality of life. Let's say quality of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In Dominica, is your quality of life better
No.
in the last 10 years? I'm just going to do 10 years because they've been in office for, is it 25 years now? 23?
24.
24 years. We're just going to, is your quality of life in Dominica better in the last 10 years, or is it worse right now? And I'm going to tell you it's worse right now. I think quality of life has gone down in Dominica. So I'm going to put that at an F.
An F.
An F.
Let's look at health.
Oh, health. I think we've made big strides. We've got a new hospital, Matt. However, the hospital, you know an interesting fact about the hospital. 99% of the revenue generated by the hospital is used to pay wages for the hospital. That's why usually we don't have anything in stock. So there's no money left to do anything for the hospital. So I'm going to tell you, healthcare in Dominica was a lot better 10 years ago than it is today. I remember going to the casualty distinctly, getting better care, getting faster care. And my big disappointment with healthcare, you go up to the hospital, Matt, if you're allergic to something, nobody can really tell you're allergic. It's not computerized. In an age and day when computers are rampant, everybody has a cell phone, a computer. They know what laptops are. We are not computerized in the hospital. We're not fully computerized.
So we still have to use our book.
We're still using the book.
Our exercise book.
We're still using. So I'm gonna put that at an F. We could have done better, and I think I'm not judging us on where we are today. I'm judging us on how far we should have been. So we should have been further up. So I'm going to put that on an F.
Investment.
Citizen by investment or real money investment?
Real money.
Well, 10 years ago, we had more privately owned businesses in Dominica than we have today. So I'm going to tell you, if it's on investment, and particularly, he's actually isn't he the minister in charge of investments?
He is.
Yes. So I'm going to put that at an F. And the reason I'll put that at an F. And I'll tell you why. We've had a lot of businesses closing down. We've lost a lot of revenue from small and medium-sized businesses. And the reason that you put the F over there, Matt, is because you have the CBI program. Now the CBI program has cost our citizens here to be in the visa zone. Pretty soon, Matt, we're going to need a visa to go to St. Lucia. And that's our sister country. Because I'm going to tell you, I can see where the line is going. And more people are watching these Dominican passports and they're looking at them. We've had some serious eyes on these passports and they've caused us quite a bit of trouble. And that is investing because we've taken people's money and given them passports. So I'm going to tell you F for investing.
Wow.
I know that's harsh, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not.
Any B's or A's somewhere?
Well, for the roads, probably. Roads, I'm going to tell you, we've done decently on the roads. So I'm going to tell you, the roads, I'm going to give them a B. And the reason that they get a B, Matt, it's only when there's election, when there's World Creole Music Festival, or when there's Carnival, the roads in Dominica get any attention. Other than that, our stop signs and our signages need to be updated. Our roads, some of our roads have giant potholes. You know what's strange, Matt? If you have a pothole in a neighborhood where a minister lives and drives, for example, literally, they actually call the pothole the minister's name. Like I know in Castle Comfort, we have a Shakira pothole.
You're joking.
We do. We have a Shakira because the minister lives up there and they drive past this pothole every day. But it's so huge, it never gets fixed. So every time you have a minister that lives in a neighborhood where the pothole is, the pothole gets the name of the minister. That's the new thing now. You didn't know that, did you?
Hello, talk to me, yes. How are you? Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
The gentleman there, I just wanted to ask him a simple question. Are his family stupid or what? Because in an economy, he say giving all the F, the expanding, black is white. I cannot see stupid people expanding in an economy that is bad. Thank you very much. You should answer that.
Hold on. Stand the line. What is it that you're saying that may be good there and expanding? Tell me, Clarence. He's gone. See?
Well. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you. When we look at things, we should look at things as a whole. We should look at Dominica as a whole.
All right.
And what we want to see is we don't want to see one person or two people doing better. We would like to see everybody doing better. In my book,
so you're not looking with one eye, like
a lot of people look at
like a saw.
No, you got to look at the macro picture, man.
Right.
You have to look at the picture. Are we elevate and a lot of people who look at things that way look at it selfishly. Because here's the thing, they're just checking. Matt, you're doing something over there. You must be doing better. No, that doesn't mean Matt's doing better. Matt's working his tail off. He's working 16 hours a day. He's making sure he hits all the right buttons. He's putting in overtime. He's putting in research. But here it is, Matt. If I took you from the Dominica platform and I placed you, I don't know, anywhere. We could call it, I put you in Miami, I could put you in St. Lucia, I could put you in St. Kitts. For the same amount of effort that you would be putting in Dominica, you'd be doing twice as well in some of these other countries. And thus comes the fact that we have significant migration. Simply because people find it hard to do things here. So when they go to the other countries and you hear, oh my God, this is a Dominican, he's doing this over there. This person is from Dominica, he's doing, you know why? It's because Dominica couldn't do it for them. It's not because they don't love their country. And so we don't need to look at the individual people.
I think he specifically refers to Jolly's pharmacy.
Jolly's has this. Jolly's has Orin behind it. That guy is genius level. That guy, I'm going to tell you how smart Orin is. When Orin was 20 years old, he built his own phone system. He built computers when he was 15. That guy is genius level. If that guy isn't like smarter, he probably as smart as Bill Gates. I don't know. I mean, the guy's genius level. So here he does, you have a genius running things. He's going to do well. He's going to do okay. But guess what? You put him on any other platform, he's going to shine like a diamond. No matter where you put that guy is genius. He can build. That individual is up all night long working. I call him at 4 a.m. and he's working. How many people you know are up at 4 a.m. working? Very few, man. So yes, but let's look at things at the macro level and see where we go.
Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt, I was forced to call back. Matt, listen to me carefully, and Dr. Jolly and the listeners. Matt, I remember I tell you about Italia today. I mentioned Italia to you.
Yes.
So from there, Matt, I coming up by Courts there, I met a young lady sat down on a stool selling coconut water. And I told her, darling, can you allow me to sit and get me a small coconut water? Allow me to drink it. I'm on crutches, Matt. The woman watched me and she laughed, Matt. I tell her, excuse me, thank you, and I walked away. Matt, I went on the St. Joseph bus stop, Maho, St. Joseph, and all of that. I ended up in a little self-service there. I approached a woman selling, and I told her, repeat a Super 6 for me. I had the ticket, and give me a quick pick with that. But Matt, she busy trying to activate music on a cell phone that is being transmitted through a system, a speaker or something. And she took about 3 or 2 minutes, Matt. And then I told her, give me a quick pick. So I supposed to know how much. And then I was in a little back and forth match. I have a scar to the right side of her face. I like to sell them out. I said, if it was your business, it's the same thing you would have done. Drive your customers away. And it's not your business, worse. I said, I'm in a good mood to them, not cursing. I'm saying all that to say, Matt, when it comes to a professional approach, and I said that to a bus driver, I said, the only place I'm going in Dominica and get service that is out of Dominica, Matt, is by Jollies. So I have to commend the Jollies and the workers and the management and everything. Matt, when you have a clown like Clarence Christian, Matt, that can call and asking, are the family stupid? Matt, you cannot watch your country going down and choose to have a hands-off approach because Jolly expanding. What are the losses? Do they have to come to the public and tell you how much they have lost through the investments, Matt, and what it was then and what it is now? And I told you a while ago, Matt, having to do with the all roads lead to Rome. Every investor have to go through these criminals and give them money. The terms and conditions have to be determined by them, not in the interest of the people, Matt. Not in the interest of the people, it's in the interest, profit, and benefit of the politicians in the nepotistic approach. They have to have their friends and family that are unqualified to hold positions. And then when the investors see all that foolishness having to do with utility bills that are skyrocketing, and then you have a man who was a financial auditor. What was he, Matt? An auditor?
The auditor for the government of Dominica, yes.
For the government. And look at the state of the economy and the country. Matt, when he retired, didn't they give him another contract, Matt?
They gave him another contract, yes.
Did it make things any better?
Nope.
And Matt, look at the state of the country.
And we never got any audits.
Never get any auditing for us to know how the state of the economy is now. We want to get personal with the Jollies and say, are your family stupid? Because guess what? They are still investing. What all you want for people to roll over and play dead? But this is what all you have brought to the people. And all you will get it because the young people will not roll over and play dead. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. 2:03 is the after time. Always an engaging experience when we talk to Andy on the radio. Hello, talk to me, yes? 449-3095, 449-3096. I think we're still looking at some sectors we'll try to grade.
Yes. So what's next on the list? Probably cultural diversity, richness. You want to? I'm gonna tell you, Dominica is full of culture. We've done probably that a B because we've done very well on the international stage in the last few years and I believe that has to do a lot with the independence of the artist.
Okay.
So as you know, we won our first gold medal. We've had lots of bands out there. I mean, I'm telling you, I've traveled around, and ASA
Entertainment.
ASA is out there. You can go to about 10 places, and Mr. Ridge's music will be out there, because that is leading the charge and leading the way, and that's how people are getting to know about Dominica. You can go out there, signal.
But that has to do with the personality of that person.
Well, it's the person, it's the individual.
I don't think that it has anything to do.
Well, if the government was smart, you know what they would do?
They would invest.
They would invest in those people and help those people, because it would be nice for some of these artists not to have to. I mean, I grew up with the guys from TK. I can tell you, they all had day jobs, and some of them probably still have day jobs, and then they're still doing their regular gigs. So it would be nice for these artists to get benefits out of this country and help boost them up so that they can represent Dominica better on the main stage. So I'm going to tell you, cultural diversity, definitely we've done very well with that. Our name is out there. Dominica is definitely progressing. A lot of the music that we do, and I'm hoping that we can keep a hold on that. Let's hope that we're copywriting it correctly, because you know what I noticed? A lot of the other countries are actually using those beats and those music, and they're making their own music or similar types of music like ours. So we just want to make sure that I wouldn't say hold it all to ourselves, but make sure we get the rights to it so that we don't lose it.
On the telephone, caller. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Matt?
Doing fine.
Andy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for what you're doing. Matt, I know Andy at a very young age.
Okay.
I was sleeping and Clarence wake me up. I know Andy at a very young age, Matt. Andy, Orin, Lisa, in Santa Roma. I would be in their house and his mother. They would always have parties, because I used to work for a certain person in Santa Roma, and Andy know them very well. Matt, there was a time Santa Roma would have party every week, every other weekend, and they can testify to that. You talk the Astafans, you talk the Valentines, you talk the Jollies, you talk all of them. You don't get that nowadays. When I heard Clarence say they're stupid or not, I had to wake up. Because Clarence's children, they are not in Dominica. They're not feeling the grind. They're not. And Clarence self not feeling the grind. And if you have people talking and people explaining what is going on in Dominica, Papa Bodier, it cannot go wrong. It's time people open their eyes. Somebody have to open people's eyes. It's not everybody that's talking that against the government. You have to talk what is right, what you're seeing. And that is if parents going by Wavell to buy bags like before. When you see on a Saturday, you're always in the village buying bags. Bags doesn't sell. Fried fish not selling. Chicken not selling. And you want to tell me if the man's stupid or not? Not the Jollies, not the Jolly Pharmacy family I know there. And these are very bright right from very small. Have a good afternoon. And you keep preaching, keep talking. Thank you very much for all you do.
Yeah, I don't know the gentleman who called in personally, but I have to tell him, it's very easy to map things out on paper. What we need to do, if we could get good numbers from our we don't have an IRS here. We have an inland revenue. But if we could get good numbers from the inland revenue and get how much we're borrowing versus how much we're making, we could take a look at the last few years and see where the revenue of Dominica. Yeah.
Comparing and
contrast. Let's look at the revenue. Matt, I'm going to personally go out on a limb, and I'm not going to put a bet on this or anything, but anybody who is willing to put one, they can probably. The economy from probably 10 years ago or 20 years was a better economy than the one that we have today. The economy we have today, Matt, is, I don't want to call it a sham or a fake. It's one that we've borrowed. We're borrowing money. We're living off a feather. Any day now, we could come home to roost and we could have to pay back that money. A lot of the money that Dominica is actually in there that we're using today is either borrowed or we're out there begging people for it. That's the two ways that we get money in Dominica. Oh, we have a few exports. Don't get me wrong, and I know we export some foods, but Matt, we're talking about a significant economy here. We're talking about the real belly of the economy.
And you know we import more than we export.
If we import more than we export, we're in trouble.
Imbalanced trade, yes.
Yeah, we have an imbalanced trade. We have an imbalanced trade. We have an imbalanced amount of loans that we've been given that we have not started paying back yet. And most people see this as good. I don't know how you judge a business, but this is not a good way to look at a business on paper to say this is a viable business. I'm going to tell you, if the gravy train stops today, we will stop eating.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Hello, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon to you, Mr. Jolly.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the people of Dominica. Matt, I've been listening to your program.
Okay.
And I do listen to all the different radio programs. I'm not the type of person to call the radio station.
Okay.
But it's...
And we missed you. Call back. Try calling back. Something went wrong there with the telephone. Okay, call me back. I'd like to hear your conversation. So try again or text me. I'll give you a call back. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. Let's take another phone call. Are you there?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, I lost internet access, but I know you on. I called to give Mr. Jolly a big A+. And the reason for this is because he has placed the F in the right perspective, Matt. Matt, the reason why I called to tell you that I'm giving my A+, I've been to St. Thomas, I don't know, I can't tell how many times, Matt. If I tell you how many times, they people will be exaggerating. But Matt, I was traveling to Atlanta with my family on the 18th of September, and when we reached St. Thomas, the immigration got my passport, a Dominica passport. He asked me where is home. This is Dominica. I watched my wife. I said, no, Toto. Hey, Dominican, get ready, man. Something is happening. Stand up and remove this government in office and tell them enough is enough. They must go. Scary and his regime must go. Thank you, Mark.
All right, somebody's asking me to ask Mr. Clarence Christian whether his son is stupid to have left Dominica and go to Barbados and get a job.
Well, Barbados has a more vibrant economy going. Not only that, I'm going to tell you I don't always agree with her, but I think they have Mayor Motley, very, very well-spoken prime minister. I've listened to that lady on C-SPAN, and she's hosted a few other conferences. Very intelligent speaker. I mean, she speaks clarity. She does not stutter, which is one of the things that I think our prime minister has a problem with. And I don't think she...
Do you think it's a speech impediment? I'm just asking.
Man, we're not here for jokes, okay? This is serious business that we're dealing with here now. So,
I'm just saying.
She's very clear. I mean, that lady has addressed, several officials, and when she speaks, Matt, she's very passionate about what she's saying, and she is well researched as well. And you know what I like about her? She's not afraid to tackle questions. She will give you the answer to the question. We have a PM that has not given us the correct answer to a question in the last 5 years, Matt. I don't know how he does it, but he's good at evading top. I mean, that's the kind of man that no woman should really marry, because you won't get right questions out of him anytime, man. I'm sorry.
Hello, talk to me. Oh boy.
Yes,
yeah. How you doing?
Good. I am glad to see men like Mr. Jolly coming out today to speak of the economy. It's not just an economy of the people right now. It's an economy where the people don't have a say. The people don't have a right to talk. And more the government keep on showing us that we are out of the right in our country. See what happened on the weekend in a activity, in a festival, independent season. We should be in an independent season, and the government is showing us that we are not independent. The people of Dominica are not independent, man. We can't even talk for work. We can't even talk to give us work, and then we are called bandits and criminals and vagabonds to ask for work. I mean, vagabonds and criminals don't ask for work; they do crimes. And the way we see our economy today, it's going to go down the line of crime. People will start to do crime in the country. And I'm glad that Mr. Jordy, even if he's a prominent businessman in Dominica, one of the most prominent businessmen in Dominica, could come today to speak out, and then that will help the others to receive a voice so they could come to talk about the same situation. I see rich men become poor men, paupers, beggars, and then what we coming to? And then the government just stick it like, yeah, this is against us. We are not against the government. You can't get against the government of your country. What we want is to tell the government, give us what we need. We need work. We need money. We need to survive. No one can survive without work or money. No one, nowhere in the world. And why we in a country where we have a $1 billion project going on and the people have to be suffering? I mean, come on, man. That is unfair. That is unfair.
Okay.
And I'm glad to see Mr. Jordy speaking to you this morning. I'm really happy.
This afternoon. Somebody saying, Matt, it's not a speech impediment; it's a lying impediment. I was just asking it a fair question. 4493099.
Yeah, fair question, man. Fair question.
Talk to me.
It's nice to get honest answers, because I think, you know what, give us the answers, even though they shock us into death. We want them.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone.
Matt, good afternoon.
Mola Sagafet.
Matt.
I'm here. Go ahead, sir.
Listen, a guy called a while ago called Mr. John is stupid. I'm going to tell him something. I lived in Dominica 10 years ago. And I'm a painter decorator in England. I bought my house, I bought a car, I bought a van, I bought a piece of land in Dominica 10 years ago. If I was in Dominica, I would have been able to achieve this thing. So tell him, keep himself quiet. Don't call him man stupid. You know what he's saying, you know what he's talking about.
Well, you see, you'll get...
in Dominica now.
What's that?
Sorry?
No, go ahead. You were saying something.
You know what David said, the man know what he's talking about.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm sure he knows that too. But anytime you hit the nail on the head, you get personal attacks. I've been a victim of that for many years, so I know what you're talking about. Anytime you talk the truth, hard facts, they come after you. Personal attacks. So, Andy, let that fly over your head there. Good afternoon to you, Matt and Andy. What about rating other sectors of the economy like agriculture, tourism, education? Can you speak to that?
Agriculture, Matt, I think agriculture in Dominica has done well, simply because I think there's a lot of innovation in agriculture. I think the farmers are doing. But again, this is from the perspiration of the farmers that are doing that. I don't think they're getting any support, or they're getting enough support. I didn't say any support. Enough support from the government. Matt, feeder roads. Matt, I had to do this the other day, and I'm going to tell you my true story, because some people think I just sit here and I just talk about things I don't know. I took my truck up and I decided I'm going to help somebody because they had a lot of dash-in. And I decided, let's go up and I can help you carry the dash-in. So I said, I'll drive up with the truck and we'll go pick up the dash-in and we'll drop it down at, Dexter, right there, Kate, right there at Goodwill. Matt, those roads are so bad. We went up in that garden, man, and I'm like, you guys are a top producer of dash-in. Why don't we pave the road so we can get to the dash-in easier? Matt, there were certain times I was making the sign of the cross up. The van was shaking, and there was the little river on one side, and they're like, well, make sure you hit that stone. If you don't hit that stone, we're not going to go up the hill. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? This is not how people do agriculture. You go down to Costa Rica, you go down South America, go down to Guyana, you can go down those other places. This is not how we do agriculture. You go down to Grenada. Agriculture is like a big thing. Farmers are celebrated, man. Matt, we need feeder roads. I think we've done a good initiative giving the farmers vehicles and stuff like that. We've done a very poor initiative helping the fishermen. The fishermen need more help out there because I'm going to tell you, at £5, $8 for a pound of fish, man. Those guys have to work really hard. I mean, it's hot sun, it's burning on them out there. The fishermen have gotten no assist. In fact, the French fishermen do twice as good as the Dominican fishermen. They're right next door to us. They're on our left and our right. I'm going to tell you, you know what? Where agriculture did not take good. I mean, we're just thinking simple things here. You know what? We have poor diversity in crops, man. I'm telling you, we have been planting the exact same thing for the last 20 years. We have not tried new things, planted new things. Every now and then you hear somebody has like white potatoes or they have something new. Man, we've not diversified farming in Dominica.
And I've been hearing that word diversification from DFP.
We're planting the same thing.
Long time.
Same thing. We're planting the same crops, the same soil crops that we've been doing for a long. And you know what? We've decreased in bananas. We don't have a banana crop anymore. Remember when there was long lines outside the Deepwater Harbor? Man, I remember jumping in Forcolay and bathing when we were done with the bananas. So I know there are people out there that don't understand. I've been through this. And I can tell you, the banana trucks were lined up all the way. Where did those banana trucks disappear to? What are they? Now we have the other white trucks with the big wheels instead. But I mean,
with the big cement.
It's big cement. I guess that's what we got. We got big cement trucks now. We don't have banana trucks anymore.
Tourism. Well, how are we doing in tourism?
You know, tourism, Matt, I'm going to tell you, we need to attract more tourists. We need to attract more tourists. We need to diversify tourism again. And here it is, Matt, that we've promoted this Nature Island. We have no beach cleanups in Dominica. We have no underwater cleanups in Dominica. Our trails, Matt, have you walked in our trails? So most of our trails are not paved. Remember we lost somebody last year or 2 years ago? We lost this young. Did we ever find her?
The French lady. No.
The French lady. We never found the French lady. We just let it go. She's somewhere out there in the bush if somebody finds her. You know, but here's the thing. Our trails need to be marked properly. Our hiking needs to take front stage. You know, big up to Brohim for making sure he gets the hikers, the Duivayas hikers. They're out there once a month. And if you notice, Matt, that group has gotten so big. You know why it's gotten big, Matt? Everybody loves to hike. How many people did we invite over here to hike? We need to make this. Dominica is great for hiking. We got big mountains. Things the other Caribbean don't have, but have we done a good job? Tourism, I'm going to put us at a C. We do not have a cruise ship village as yet. That cruise ship village was needed 10 years ago. We don't have a cruise ship village as yet. We're still letting tourist stuff on the bayfront. We should have an independent cruise ship village like St. Lucia has one, St. Kitts has one, Grenada has one. Not only that, Matt, we can only take one cruise ship at a time in Dominica. And I know some people will tell me, well, you know, close down the Deepwater Harbor. How do we close down our Deepwater Harbor? That's where business takes place. So we need something that can accommodate more than one ship. So that, I'm going to tell you, there's a C involved in that.
All right, let's see if we can move on at 2:23. Matt asked Mr. Jolly, why all the ministers and past ministers are willing and wanting to step down, except one man. Luke Vince says he wants to be relieved from his ministerial position after the geothermal project.
Did he make a public statement on that?
Oh, Vince?
Yes.
No, I know from a very good source that he's not going to be involved in politics.
Well, Matt, what's this geothermal about? How long have we been on this geothermal? Why didn't we just get some solar systems and pin them up on the floor up in one of those villages and just give them sun? We would have fixed the problem already.
I heard somebody from last week. He says the solar systems and others, sustainable as
Matt,
geo.
let's get a start going. I mean, we have, let's do this.
Because the batteries are very expensive.
I know, but at least, Matt, why don't we give us some appetizers before the main course? Let's do the solar on a small scale because lots of other countries do them. We have solar, we have wind that we've not tapped into, but yet we've invested 100% in geothermal. How long have we been going on geothermal? Is that what, 20 years? We're 20 years into geothermal. And our Domlec bill just went up again, by the way. I just want you to know that because
I heard that.
So we should. What do you think geothermal is going to do for our Domlec bill? Do you think it's going to make it go up or down? I mean, just an honest question between us.
I heard according to them, it's going to go down
50%.
I can't tell you.
Because it just rose up 50%. So if it goes, we'll be back down to normal.
We will not be in control of the geothermal project.
Somebody else will
be from overseas.
Dominica is not in control of Dominica half the time. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of different MOUs and projects signed. We don't know who owns them, who's registered owner. And you know what, Matt? Last time you asked the question, who was the registered owner? They said, none of your business, right? So, I mean, hey. We'll never know the true answers. We just have to wait and see.
All right, let's see if we can take a phone call here for Mr. Jolly. Talk to me. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Okay, you hear me very clearly?
Very clearly, yes.
Okay, good. And good afternoon to Andy. Just a couple questions. Seeing that we based on the rating that Mr. Jolly is given of the performance of the government. If we were, let's say, to have an election call within the next 2 months or so, what would he encourage the Dominican electorate to do? That's my question to Mr. Jolly. Based on the rating that he's given now, what would he encourage or tell the Dominican voters to do if an election is held, let's say, within the next 6 months? Within to hear what he's saying. Okay, thanks.
Are you still on the line?
No. If I have to call back, I'll call back.
All right, thank you very much. What would you encourage the Dominicans to do?
Well, Matt, here's the thing I probably want to be honest with the Dominican people about. We've had an administration in hand for the last 20 years, 24. You give or take a couple. If we change the administration today or tomorrow, it's going to take some time before we turn everything back around. So we've gone 20 years in one direction, Matt. Even though we get a new administration next week, it's going to take, we've done some damage. It's going to take time for the administration to step in and rebuild. And not only that, Matt, we have to get people to trust us again.
We have to. All our institutions are broken.
Every institution is broken. So I'm going to tell people, you need a total. The next, if you get a new administration in hand, you need at least 15 more years before we can see Dominica really and say, look, we've made the right decision. And Matt, you know what? Even with this administration, if they decided to turn around, it's going to take a little while. Even though a new leader pops up from this administration and says, you know what, I would really like to change Dominica. I mean, I would really like to go in there and make Dominica great. I want to make our citizens happy. I want to make our tourists a vibrant organization. I want to make Dominica the envy of the Caribbean. It would take a significant amount of work. So the caller also had a question concerning electoral reform. I have told you, I think I've told you on this program for the time and time again, for the last 5 years, we're not going to get electoral reform. And I've had people call in and say, oh yeah, we'll get it, we must get it. It's not in the interest of Mr. Scarrett. Mr. Scarrett is the type of personality that does nothing that is not in his interest. If he doesn't have an interest in doing things, he blatantly ignores them. I'm going to tell you that's his personality type.
Really? Would you already describe him as corrupt?
I'm going to tell you there's a lot of tendencies that corrupt organizations show. So I'm going to just tell them to you. First of all, corruption is one that is deep seated. Sometimes we will have people who come in, they're not corrupt, they're good people, man. But absolute power corrupts. Mr. Scarrett has no overseers. He has nobody to give him a slap on the wrist if he does something. I'm going to tell you, I believe the power has corrupted this organization. Yes, and him too as well.
Very honest answer.
That's an honor. I mean, I'm going to tell you that there is corruption. I mean, you can look at it. There's a lot of things that Mr. Scarrett does for personal gain. I mean, we're talking about self-interest again here. Then the second item, probably of corruption, you have institutional corruption. This gentleman has actively came on stage and says, what? No law, no constitution. Meaning that nobody needs to follow the rules out there. Let's all do like we want, right? So his institution is corrupt. The whole institution is not just, I mean, the leader alone. You've basically told them there's no need to follow law and order. Let's just do what we need to do. Then you have the other side. There's always question of conflict of interest in whatever the government does. There's no clarity, there's no transparency, no accountability. I mean, up to today, we cannot even get clear numbers on our CBI program. This is a Dominica CBI program, and we cannot get exact numbers as to how much money has been made, how many passports are out there, who has the passports, who are the persons who are eligible to.
We are in bed with the Chinese, and they are the world's largest producer and consumer of solar power. Why aren't we getting help from the Chinese to at least start a solar program in Dominica? The problem is with these guys and the geothermal is a way of washing money. We know that. Vince Henderson is personally invested in the geothermal program. He is part of a company in charge of the geothermal, and all these guys are doing is washing money away. That's it. Simple as that.
All right, Dominic, over here. We're going to take a quick break. Of course, it's already 2:30, and they can't believe it. We out of just about 28 minutes remaining, but it is here. Stick around. Stick around.
Attention, homeowners, contractors, tradesmen, and all. Here's great news from Eaststar Trading Limited. Just received a wide range of German premium quality power tools, vacuum cleaners, cement mixers, power wash machines, and more. And grass cutters at only $595. Visit our showroom upstairs of the supermarket on the bayfront for world-class Ronix power tools, swipers, power car wash, spray guns, and many more items, all 220 volts to 50 hertz, and all at affordable prices. Eaststar Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
MDC presents the Crayon Cooler Fest, November 3rd. All roads lead to Pegua Bay Riverside for the biggest cooler fest on the Northeast. Live on stage, the Bouillon Specialist, TK International.
Boy, you're the whistle.
Signal Band.
So let me have a good time when we pass it.
Nice. With music jumping by DJ Taffy and the crew, DJ Flip the Boss, DJ Happy, Inches, the Creole Cooler Fest, November 3rd at Pegua Bay Riverside. Admission is only $40 in advance, $50 at the gate. Band time, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come in your best mattress and white outfits, enough drinks and plenty food. It can't be Independence and enough is without the breadfruit. Lots of breadfruit dishes will be on sale. Creole Cooler Fest, November 3rd. Book that date and see you there.
Here come these young to deliver flowers, royal homegrown the best for the opera.
Q95, the big station, presents Kudos to Our Heroes. Our 17th Dominican national hero is distinguished Dominican-born international athlete Thea Lafong Gatson, Dominica's first historic Olympic triple jump gold medalist, having reached the highest level of excellence in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. Our Kudos to Our Heroes Committee will recognize, honor, and award Miss Thea Lafong Gatson on Monday, October 28th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Q95, the big station, for her consistent, valuable, transformational contribution to sports, and particularly in the thrilling triple jump event. Miss Thea Lafong Gatson has inspired Dominicans, and especially the youth at home and abroad, in numerous ways, with her friendly, caring character, hard work, humility, and for her extensive contribution to Dominica's sporting culture, among many other delightful traits. She will always, without any doubt, be remembered as having encouraged and inspired her many fans, friends, and associates to reach out and strive for excellence and be the best that they can be at whatever they set out to do in their lifelong journey. She has already influenced many to reach the highest levels in sports, and some are now at the pinnacle of their careers. Kudos to Miss Thea Lafong Gatson, her wonderful husband Aaron Gadson, her mom Anastine, her dad Dorian, and members of her immediate family at home and abroad. Thea is indeed a true Dominican hero for instilling a positive mental attitude in the sporting dialogue and for being a great Dominican who demonstrated that any ordinary person can do extraordinary things. Q95 family listeners at home, in the region, and worldwide. Tune in on Monday, 28th October from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join us live on air or on Facebook or YouTube to appreciate, recognize, honor, award, and extend kudos to our 17th Dominican national hero, phenomenal sports icon, Thea Lafong Gatson, only on Q95, the big station.
To be the best that they can be. Nothing can more retard a nation than this incentive and victimization. No drive to succeed, no honor to serve. When people cannot receive what they deserve, men who held their dignity in their commitment. You wanna buy drinks at affordable prices? Check GBA. You want some shop for all your parties? Check GBA. We got rum and bottle and drinks by the gate. At GBA. We can make you live with a smile on the face. At GBA. What is up at GBA? Located at 106B Independence Street, Roseau. Come back in the ambience of exotic rums and wines from all over the world. We have a wide range of bounty rum, Grand Fraser, Diplomatico, and so much more. Feel like drinking something fancy? No problem. We got a wide range of wines and a local cocktails just for you. So come visit us today at 106C Independence Street, Roseau, where you will come sad and you will live happy. Let us be your agent for succeeding. GBA, let's take it one step at a time because we are the drinking ambassadors of Dominica. Things at affordable prices, check GBA. The WhatsApp shop for all your parties, check GBA. Come shop at GBA.
Somebody book Creole, like a big Creole. Mouvement Créole assure. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui est présenté. Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs, hot 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, proverbe, discussion, reportage, apprendre parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. Nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Mouvement créole à ce grand station QFM. Boissez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
Somebody's asking me to ask you what does he think about the CCJ, the top court of the region, and the other two Dominicans, that they should not participate in any other election without electoral reform. So why is the PM who must give a reform?
Yeah, is that a question, Matt?
It is a question. Yeah.
Well,
The CCJ instructed.
The CCJ instructed that you have to, but Matt, you have to remember that Dominica is not like a few of the other islands, whether it be Antigua, Grenada, that actually has somebody who oversees the prime minister. Dominica is by itself. So really and truly, nobody has any power over this country. Dominica is literally considered as a rogue state by most there's if you go around the Caribbean, most of the things that we've done politically are rogue things. There's no very little accountability. There's very little transparency.
I was very surprised to hear the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Shasney, saying that the rest of the Caribbean is laughing at Dominica.
Well, because that's what we've come to. We used to be, and don't get me wrong again, Matt, let's just go back 20 years ago. We used to be the envy of the Caribbean. Dominica was first. Dominica was leading. Here it is, Matt, that we have little Antigua that doesn't have one river overtake us overnight. Antigua has some of the largest cruise ships that come in there. They have more cruise ships. Antigua has cruise ships so large, Matt, it doubles the population of the island within a day sometimes. So I'm here to tell you that we've gone from first to last. So we're not very well represented on the Caribbean stage anymore. And if you notice what's happening, Matt, people are shying away from us. They're like, we don't want to associate with them. We don't want to hold hands with them. The ideas that we have are not very organized. We are one of the few Caribbean islands that have a very large Chinese influence. Keep this in mind, Matt. Very few Chinese in Antigua. Very few Chinese projects in St. Lucia. St. Vincent. Okay, we're just going down the line. Grenada, not a very high Chinese influence. Dominica, 100%.
So why are we giving all our projects to Chinese?
I don't think we're giving it. I think we're being offered the projects and we take it because we can't attract anything else.
We can't do better?
We can't do better. I think this is it. This is all we can attract. I mean, it's kind of like, a girl asking you, why did you pick Matt as a boyfriend? And she's like, well, that's all I could do. That's the best. I couldn't get a better man than Matt. He was all I could get. So I just took what I could get.
I see the Chinese investors are almost actually insisting that they bring their own workers.
Well, Matt, we're offering them. I wouldn't say we're offering them. We have to give them more than anybody else. We have to give our passports. We have to have them bring their people.
You say our passports?
So we're giving them more to come here. We don't have any negotiation power, man. We've lost our negotiation power in Dominica. So whatever we get, that's what we take.
And Dominica was told that when we began this relationship with China, our prime minister was a very good negotiator. He spent hours and hours negotiating with the Chinese.
No, man.
Look at the
No. He did. It wasn't a good negotiation. I'm going to tell you. So somebody obviously was wrong. He wasn't a very good negotiator. The Chinese people are very brilliant. They have the Chinese history. If you look at Chinese history, these are some of the most brilliant people on the planet today. Their reach is far and wide. We are a little country with 80,000 people. We have not done a very good job negotiating. You want to see somebody who's done well negotiating with Chinese? Look at the Philippines. Those people were powerful. Those people really, they negotiated for what they wanted. They negotiated the number of workers that they could have on any project. The Chinese folks could have on any project. They negotiated the pay wage. Those things matter to us. We have not done a very good job of this over here at all. We have actually given them more than they have given us.
You believe that?
Well, they have a bigger compound than the prime minister in Mont Daniel.
That's for sure.
Okay, so if anybody has any doubt, I mean, call in and
I'll drive to the compound.
I don't know if we have a fact checker out there, but they have a bigger compound. The prime minister's compound, I'm going to call it the compound,
right,
is smaller than the Chinese compound.
I've driven past there. It's a very big compound.
And it's more sophisticated. It probably has more technology in there than he has at his house. So, I'm just looking at it from the way we see it.
On the telephone, talk to me, yes?
Under 2 minutes, Matt. Under 2 minutes. Matt,
I'm checking
Vince
you.
Henderson is shameless.
What's that?
Vince Henderson is surpassing Skerritt in his intellectual capacity by a mile. What mile? 10 miles, Matt, or maybe more. Matt, Skerritt haven't got a speech impediment. Skerritt have an intellectual impediment. Skerritt is very dumb, Matt, and he thinks he's smart because he's a con man, or he study a little ABC psychology so he can trick people and lie, play on words, and when Matt asks him a question, evading the question and playing his games. So you really think, well, that's what intelligence means. So you refer to Thompson Fountain as being a weak leader. He's a wimp because his definition of strong or strength as a leader, Matt, is to be cunning, deceptive, dictatorial, brutal, victimizing his people. That's his definition of strength, disappearing a lot, and we don't know where it is. But it is unfair to ask Dr. Jolie, and respect to the caller, all respect due to the caller, the context in which he asked the question. I know that he was not being sarcastic or trying to bring out from Dr. Jolly's all what he have in his mind. Dr. Jolly is a brilliant person because the questions in which he answer it, Matt, you can see Dr. Jolly's in diplomacy. No, Matt, would you agree? Okay. So first to ask him what we should do based on what is happening. It is unfair. Dr. Jolly is living elsewhere, although the investment is here, and he is still sacrificing it, sticking his neck out. Then you imagine the fanatics, let me not say lunatic, the extremists like Karen's Christians will say, well, I'm not going to buy Jolly because Jolly is criticizing the God of Dominica, not realizing the urgency. And in closing, not the farm roads that are being neglected, not the Chinese carried have more than just his liquor, insane head, coming up with all the different technique and methodologies and schemes how to enslave and disempower Dominicans. Matt, I am telling you straight, the farmers have to be disenfranchised, the fishermen have to be disenfranchised, teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers. Matt, he who holds you, you cannot ask him to release you. Powerful people never educate powerless people in what they need to take the power away from them, because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. Dr. John Henry Clark, the late one, and not by any means necessary. We have to dislodge these criminals from the comfort zones. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Somebody else is saying, man, what about in GMIT, where the apartments have been built? The Chinese too has a compound in that area, so the Chinese seem to be taking all over Dominica.
Well, I think they're good negotiators. And if you notice the type of buildings that they build, they're building square buildings. So these are just placement holders. And they've done this in several other places too. I mean, you can look this up online. This is nothing new, Matt. This is just we've negotiated very poor. We've actually needed things. We needed things, and we had to say yes to them. And in return, they've asked for bigger things, and we've given it them because that's how it is. And I think we've actually gotten to the stage, Matt, where we can't turn back with them, because I think it's, the way it works with the Chinese is literally today they ask for $1, tomorrow when they come to you they'll ask for $2, and then the next day it'll be $10, and then it's $100 after that. So literally there's an up ante every moment that the discussion takes place.
Just got a joke here that I must share with you. Somebody sent me a message in a comical form, right? A lady was confessing to a priest. So she's telling the priest, "Bless me, Father, I have sinned. Last night I killed a politician." So the priest in response says, "My daughter, I'm here to listen to your sins, not your community service." Not your community service work.
I think our politicians have to start paying attention to us. I think people are really suffering. And you know what we don't need more of, Matt? We don't need more politics. We need more development. We need more answers. We need more progress, because what it is now, Matt, is maybe there are people out there that can help us. But if we don't sit down and speak to them, or if we don't sit down and probably change our thinking a little bit, I think we're going to end up in a really serious problem. And I don't really give two rats about myself here, because I know I'm okay. I'm going to be, but you know what I'm worried about, Matt? Our children of the soil. What are we leaving for the next generation? I mean, most of us, the blessings, the Andes of the world, we're going out, Matt. We've been done. We've run our course.
We have played our part.
We played our part, Matt. We are living something very wretched for our children coming behind us, and this will plague them for so many years to come, that they will almost hate their ancestors, which is you and myself. They will curse the ground that we walk on.
They will ask why.
And they will ask, why didn't we do something? Why did we watch this happen?
And did nothing.
Did nothing. Why did the politicians have to treat us in this way? And we will not have an answer for them. Why did they not take care of this while they were here? Now we're leaving it for them. When are they going to have the cruise ship terminal? They're going to have to build it themselves. When are they going to have the highways that we need so that we can move for Roseau? They're going to have to build it. When are they going to have a good bus terminal? They don't know when yet. When are they going to have a good parking lot? Our children are the only ones that I see foreseeing doing this, because I'm 50 and I know you are probably are you closer to 60 or 50?
I'm 55.
50, you're halfway there. Jeez. You know, Matt, it can't be us going to build these things, because we don't have the strength and the energy. And our politicians have systematically sucked us and sucked the oxygen and the life out of us and failed to give us those promises. So our children are going to suffer. Our people that are going to come to Dominica and inherit Dominica are the ones going to suffer. We will get by just fine.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. I'll call. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, St. Joseph. I don't have much to say this afternoon, but I want to say a special thanks to Jolly's Pharmacy and all their employees, especially Carlton Lando from St. Joseph and Jessica from where Matt Layu. Matt, I have to compliment Jolly's Pharmacy. And when I hear what Clarence had to say, Clarence, that's leading George, the same one you have said stupid on the text. When I hear how we talk, the contribution Jolly's Pharmacy is making to Dominica, there is no way I can say the government doing more than Jolly. Thank God for Jolly. If it was Jolly, more people would come out in the hospital then. Prevention is so good to protect yourself to go into that hospital. And bar none, Jolly's Pharmacy, and I think you have another program after Jolly, another group too, that are doing a very good job. And Clarence, you need to tell us how much passport during your time when you was the Audit General that fell. We need that, Clarence. You is one of them that betrayed Dominica. You need to come out and tell us the truth. God bless Dominica. God bless you too.
A question I find very interesting coming up here. Can you ask Dr. Jolly to share his thoughts on Skerrit refusing an open debate with the opposition prior to an election? I think we should encourage these things.
An open debate?
A debate with the opposition politicians.
It's not in his favor. He's not going to tell
Well,
us.
you'd encourage that, though.
You know what, Matt? I am the biggest component of debating anything because guess what? We're going to get the correct answers. But again, you have to understand that this person is not going to confront anybody. Let me put a picture to you. This gentleman actually thinks everybody is below him, and he is on top of everybody. He does not need to listen to you. He does not care about you. He does not care about your concerns. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing he cares about is himself. So literally speaking, when you have somebody like that, it's hard to sit down and have a debate with them. It's hard to sit down and ask them factual questions. And not only that, Matt, I'm going to tell you, I've seen Mr. Skerrit talk. And a lot of the things that he says do not come to fruition. They have not come true. I mean, we could play back videos for several days of things that was said or said he was going to do or said that should be done or will be done in 2 days. I mean, we had this gentleman come into office and say 100 days after I get into office, what? We're going to get electoral reform, right?
Yes, of course. He said that.
And then I think they hired the judge, the ex-judge, to do electoral reform.
Mr. Byron.
Mr. Byron, that's his name. And we paid him how much money? 600 and something thousand?
Plus more because we had to bring in somebody else.
We had to bring in somebody. What is the reason? So you mean we spent close to $1 million, and what have we got to show for that today?
Nothing.
So the people of Dominica spent $1 million, and we have no product. Again, I have mentioned this before. This is what we get from getting or hiring a politician that has never run a business, has never saw it fit to balance a checkbook, has never saw it fit to work a job where you have to be in charge and competent with competent people at the wheel to make sure that things get done. This is a gentleman who has never run a business, has never cut a check. There is no checks, no balances, and guess what, Matt? We have nothing to review. We've spent money. What has happened to the money? We're talking about, you said 750. I know it was 600, but yes, there was a couple extra dollars. Yes. But Matt, what have we got to show for it today? 2-3 years later, 4 years later, nothing to show. And you want me to hang my heart on somebody who talks this way? Or to listen to a debate with somebody who says things like that?
So you'd be very surprised if he takes on a debate with anybody.
You know what? I don't think he could. I would actually tell you this, man. I don't think he could.
Let's go find a call for the afternoon. Are you there, caller? Sorry.
Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Andy. I'm a regular
Good
caller
afternoon.
to
Good
Matt,
afternoon.
so I could tell Matt good afternoon later on. Matt, you're my boy still. But
We do.
Andy, let me say something to you. I got one in last week, and I hope to let you know everything that you have said so far. I'm one person who have said it. Many other callers have heard it, and I think our people need to understand because I think we are lacking something. You just made a statement there a while ago, and I won't keep you too long. The Chinese are getting more out of us than we get out of them. Matt, I remember I sent you that exact post last week. I sent a post, a WhatsApp. They are getting more from us than we are getting from them. But time is limited, Mr. Jolly. You hit every nail on the head. You just drop a gold mine. And I want to tell Matt, the term that Andy mentioned a while ago, about 3-4 months ago, I read an article. That Trump is a private interest passport peddler and some other business, some cocoa macaque business. Let's put it this way. It's not a government initiative to benefit Dominica. And like Mr. Jolly said, every time they get in a deal, it's to benefit them personally. If it's not there, the grease, the finger not getting grease, the farming getting grease, or they getting a kickback, it's not happening. And this is where Dominica is. That's why most business people will not come there. Legitimate business people. It's only crookery that goes on. And Martha Mouth, thank you for that.
All right, thank you again. Somebody, we're going to close with that statement. It pains me to see the manner in which this government have destroyed the dreams and aspiration of the nation's youth. No more, no more, no more. We will allow that. Yes.
Well, Matt, I it's true. So, I mean, here's the thing, Matt. I think let's roll it back a little bit. You asked me if Mr. Scarrett would do a debate with somebody else. I think he shouldn't do a debate with somebody else. I don't think we should even. You know what I'd like? I'd like about 4 reporters in front of him to just ask a few questions and him answer us honestly, and I'll be satisfied with that. I don't need a debate. Just put 3 or 4 reporters in front of him, ask the questions, let's see him answer them honestly and be able to verify the facts, and I'll be fine with that. I don't want a debate.
You have a fact checker.
I just said that's a fact checker. Yes, just tell us the answers. Get us the real answers. And I would be satisfied with that. I wouldn't need to see a debate. Just give us the facts. Just the facts, sir.
All right. A quick question to wrap it up this afternoon. Have you been monitoring what's going on in the election in the States?
I have been. Very tight election, very close election. Last time I think I was called a Trumper on there. I'm not a Scarrett or a Trumper, but I am a diehard Republican for this election.
Okay.
For this one. But again, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be entertaining.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and I want people to watch because I'm going to tell you it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be very tight. I sent in my ballot already. I'm voting because you know what? Things have to go my way. And I don't know if you noticed, Elon Musk is out there offering $1 million. Yeah, $1 million.
I need that now.
You know why? People who have money love Republicans because they want to make more money. They want to hire more people. They want to build more businesses. People have to understand building business and successful business environment is the way to run a good country. I hope our electoral officials sit and watch this because I want them to learn a good lesson. Socialism, out the door. Business, capitalism, that's what we need.
All right, Dominica, we're going to end on that note, or else we'll be here for the next hour. We'll be back with Mr. Andy Jolly sometime next week, okay?
Yes, the Trumper.
We're going over to TV Lash Creole.
I better must come, under the rain it could under the sun. And I better must come, and I better must come. Give thanks and praise always. Hey, all praises to the Most High Jah. Yes, Creole in the park. Team Village Creole. Give thanks and praise.